Hey, what is up, guys? This is a bit of a different video. I thought I would just connect with you real quick while I'm out running errands, because unfortunately one of those errands is I have to return my Kobo Sage, my brand new Kobo Sage that I bought a couple days ago. I'll explain all about that and my decision to shift away from Amazon to Kobo or another e-reader, and my kind of complicated situation with the Sage, what's been going on. This is actually going to be my second time returning this in a period of like a week. So let's talk about it. Okay, so my first e-reader ever was a Kobo Libra H2O, it was called. It was not even the Libra 2. It was before the Libra 2, the Libra H2O, not far before the Libra 2 came out. And I loved that. It was the perfect size. It was ergonomic, well made. The screen was great. It had buttons on it, which I actually, I didn't really know any different. I got accustomed to the buttons, saw a lot of value in them, and I just was quite comfortable having those buttons. I've since gotten used to not having them because I have a Kindle Paperwhite now. But again, when I got that Libra 2, or H2O, I should say, it was kind of nice to have the buttons. Everything about it, I absolutely loved. I liked it so much that I bought my wife a Kobo Libra H2O as well, and she is still using it. Unfortunately, I maybe got a defective unit or something, because after having it about a year, the screen became different. It became a little bit dim, and I didn't notice it until one night I was reading alongside my wife in bed, and her screen seemed a little bit brighter. And I'm a little OCD with screens. I like having a bright, crisp screen. I also wear glasses. My wife does not. So for me, it's kind of important to have as crisp, clear a screen as possible with a lot of contrast. And I tend to keep my screens fairly bright. A lot of people don't, particularly on e-ink e-reader screens. A lot of people don't have them turned quite a way, all the way up, but I do. So that's when I noticed that problem with the screen, and I still have the Libra and I can still use it in a pinch, but I decided, you know what? I want to try the Kindle Paperwhite. I was doing a video at the time, which is still on my channel, comparing the Kindle and the Kobo. I compared all the models of the Kobo with all the models of the Kindle. This is about a year ago now at the time, so it's at this point a little bit dated. But for the purposes of that video, and because I was curious, and because the screen was kind of bumming me out, I decided, let me get a cheap Kindle. And I didn't want to get the basic. I thought the best bang for the buck at the time was the Kindle Paperwhite for Amazon. So I bought the Kindle Paperwhite, and I really liked it. It was perfect size, nice weight to it. The screen was bright and crisp and even, and it was gorgeous, and I loved it. And of course, me, like most people, I was buying a ton of ebooks on Amazon. So it made that process super, super easy. You could just, buy a book on Amazon. They have a ton more choice than a lot of other providers like Kobo. A lot of indie publishers or a lot of indie books and stuff. You can just download them right there, Kindle Unlimited. There's a lot of reasons to have Kindle, as you all know. That's kind of what happened, and I had been using the Kindle for a really long time. Fast forward to now, as you guys are probably all aware, Amazon made some changes to their download function where you can't really download locally and store your Kindle ebooks anymore. It's a feature not a lot of people use, not a huge deal. If you read on Kindle, you like your Kindle, your books will be there, everything's fine. But in the rare instance where a book is amended, changed, canceled, removed, copyright runs out, a different edition is published, maybe they change words, they have the ability on your Kindle device to do that to the book, either take it away or change it or whatever. And so if you don't have a copy stored or backed up locally, that can that might matter to you. I don't know. A lot of people don't really care. And on the flip side, somebody pointed out to me that it's actually a benefit a lot of times where for free, if the product is amended favorably, if it's improved, if some corrections are made or a cover is updated or whatever, and you like that, it's just automatically updated. You don't have to pay for it. It's kind of a nice feature. If it's a change that you don't like, then you have no choice. Amazon has the ability to change that on your book, which you technically pay to lease. You don't own that digital content. So that, and the fact that Amazon itself is growing, and for a number of ethical, moral, capitalistic, whatever reasons, I would like to support Amazon a little less. I have to support them to a degree. They are ingrained in our culture, in our society. I buy things from Amazon quite often. But if I can avoid having my reading experience and this hobby and the money I spend for this hobby tied to specifically Amazon with a lot of constriction, I'd rather not have that. So I decided to maybe make a switch back to Kobo and decide, you know what, I'm just going to buy like a new Kobo device. Hopefully that one that I had back in the day was defective. I'm just going to buy a new Kobo device. So that's when I bought the Kobo Sage here. The Kobo Sage I bought because I didn't want a color. All I want is a Kobo Libra 2, the black and white one that was out for a while. They do not have that. They have gotten rid of the Clara black and white. It is now, which is the basic sort of, that is now color. They got rid of the Libra, which is now only color. The only black and white one, except, you know, unless you get the, I forget what it's called, an ellipsa or something like that, the one where you can write on it and stuff, which I don't need. This is kind of the only one that was big enough and nice enough that I thought, okay, like I'll just go ahead and buy the Sage. This is $300 Canadian. That is a lot of money. So I thought about it long and hard and I decided, you know what? I'm just going to buy the Kobo Sage, like whatever. It's an investment in an e-reader that allows me the ability to, you know, read books from all different file types, and it's less constricted. I can use it with overdrive. It connects to Canadian libraries, which my Kindle doesn't. A lot of pros for using Kobo. That's not what the video is about. What happened with this one was I noticed a very evident, and it's actually really common if you look at reviews. What happened was the screen has what's called a screen gradient, which means on the side closest to the buttons, depending on which way you're holding it, the side closest to the buttons had a cooler tone. And then as you move right to left, in my case, it became cooler. So it had a gradient where it was quite noticeable. I'll see if I can put some photos or some footage. It doesn't show up very well on screen, but I'll try and find some footage or some photos of other people that have posted a similar thing that may have captured a better picture. It varies from device to device, and quality control has certain thresholds or whatever. And, you know, sometimes they make it through with better screens and sometimes they're not as good. So it really depends, and you're not guaranteed if you return it, you're going to get a better one. But I decided once I saw that, I couldn't unsee it. And I'm a little bit, like I said, specific with my, you know, I'm discerning with the way my screen looks, and I couldn't unsee it. So I returned it and I got a different one. And this one was actually worse, believe it or not. The one that I returned actually was flashing. I'll put up I did take some footage of that. It was actually flashing. And I was just charging it in my car as soon as I bought it because I was excited, and it was flashing and it was just ghosting really bad. And then of course the screen. So I decided to return that one. And again, I got this one, which was even worse. So now I'm going to return this one. And I'm going to use my Kindle, I think, for as long as possible. I don't necessarily want to spend $300 on a new e-reader. There's a bunch. Comment down below if you have other recommendations, if you use a Kindle, if you use a Kobo. I'm still looking for something to replace my Kindle because when my Kindle dies, I'm not going to buy another one, I don't think. And I'm kind of just on the fence of getting a Kobo until the new ones come out either this year or next year. They're always coming out with new models, and there has been a big push from the public to come back to some black and white devices. The problem I have with color screens is that from all what I can tell, there's another layer on the screen that has sort of the color in it. And number one, the color is not very vibrant. It's very almost pastel-y. It's very like, you know, faded, soft colors, which actually looks quite good in my opinion, but you have to temper your expectations. It's not going to look like a vibrant LCD screen. But that being said, because the color is there and because there's another sort of layer on the screen, they're never quite as bright or as white in the black and white format as you would have with a regular black and white device. And I'll try and put up some pictures of that to compare. And there's a lot of videos. If you compare, you know, people commenting on Reddit, whatever, if you look at the screens side by side, it is very evident. If you don't look at them side by side, it's not a big deal. But I just know what I like. I like a bright white. And sometimes I turn down the color. Sometimes I turn down the brightness. I adjust it for time of day and where I'm reading. But if it's out in bright daylight, I like to have a bright, crisp, white, almost like paper screen. And that's just my preference. And, you know, the color ones just don't really do that. So I am going to not buy another e-reader. I'm going to return this one, get my money back. It pains me to say. I'm going to keep that Kindle that I have for a while. I have my old kind of broken, I suppose, Kobo Libra that is definitely usable in a pinch, and a lot of people would be grateful to have that. My wife has hers. So for now, I'll keep my Kindle. And it's a bit of a complicated relationship I have right now with e-readers. Not really sure when I'm going to go and look at new ones, but if they come out with a Libra or something mid-tier that is black and white and that has better quality control, I will definitely be in the market. So again, just a rambly video as I reluctantly give this back and stick with my Kindle for just a little while longer. So if you have any recommendations for other e-readers, or if you have had a better experience with the Kobos, particularly with the Sage, let me know in the comments. Just wanted to chat with you. I'll talk to you guys more there. And until next time, I'll catch you on the next video.